This video is designed to give a basic and brief tutorial on how to run and process the data from 2D NMR. This tutorial will also cover NUS processing and phasing. When opening up a 2D NMR spectra, you are greeted by the spectra. To go to the processing menu, use the toggle button in the top right corner. After putting the sample into the sample deck, go to the correctly numbered row in the Delta software, and then name the sample, fill in your name, and then from the drop-down menu select what solvent has been used, as well as selecting a 2D NMR technique. These can be purely a 2D NMR technique, or can include running a proton and a carbon spectra as well, as in this example. If the estimated time exceeds 20 minutes, then schedule the experiment to be run at night. The first stage is to add the zero filling function. This will often be already added to the Y column, but not to the X column. To add the zero fill function to either column, make sure the function will be added before the fast Fourier transform function. Then go to the pre-transform tab and select the zero fill function. To select which axis you want to add these to, simply click on the axis box and the selected box will be highlighted with a blue outline, and by a yellow bar on the axis box. Window functions can emphasize features such as resolution and the signal-to-noise ratio. To add a window function, go to the Window Function tab and select a new window function. You can change the window functions using the Change Functions button and selecting a new window function. To delete a window function, simply select the function and press the Delete Function button. The parameters of the window function can be changed by expanding the window and typing in the new parameters. The next step is to use the symmetrization function. Often this has already been added. If not, go to the Post-Transform tab and select Symmetrization. This can also be done from the 2D view, by selecting Symmetrization from the Action menu. If the spectra is unresolved and has lots of big blobs instead of having clean spots, contouring can be used. To do this, right-click in the 2D viewer and select the Level tool. This will bring up the Level tool in a different window. To change the contour lines, use the slider on the left. Moving it up from the bottom will cut off the lower contour lines, and moving it down from the top will cut off the higher level contour lines. After doing this, the spectra is much better resolved than before. To pick peaks, make sure that the option bar is selected in the option menu and a J value set. Then select the peaks using the Pick Peak button. You can adjust how many peaks there are picked up with the contour tool. To get a readout of the peaks present, go to the Analyze tab and select Print Spreadsheet. If the experiment has used non-uniform sampling, then you will see that both an NUS zero fill and NUS reconstruction function have been added to the task boxes. If they have not, they can both be added by going to the Pre-Transform tab and selecting them from the NUS menu. Just make sure that the zero fill is the last function present and the reconstruction the first. To get to the 1D window for phasing, simply click on the 1D window button. There are two different types of automated phase correction, automatic and machine phase correction. Both are found by going to the Post-Transform tab and selecting Phase and choosing one of the two from the menu. If the phasing has left peaks below the baseline, you can get rid of these by using the Manual Phasing tool. Press the Manual Phasing tool button and drag the pivot point line onto the biggest peak and line it up on the x-axis. Zoom in on the peak and make sure that the pivot point line lines up with the top of the peak. Click and drag on either side of this line to get rid of the peaks below the baseline. If other peaks are below the baseline after doing this, press and hold the Alt key and repeat the above process to correct the first order phase parameter. After this, remember to run the process to store the phase information. If the phasing parameters are known, then they can be changed by going to the Post-Transform tab and selecting Phase, then changing the parameters manually. That concludes the basic introduction on 2D NMR processing. For further information on any of the topics mentioned, as well as some more advanced techniques, refer to JL's Data Processing User Manual.